welcome everybody. Elite Dangerous has recently updated itself with a new exploration, mining, and miner game updates. And this video aims to answer any questions you may or may not have about the new mining aspect of this update. I can honestly say that I've messed around with this for about a week now, and it is a great way to make money really quickly. Now, off to it. So first off, there's certain asteroids like this one here that look squarish that will never ever be fissure asteroids. Let's just get that straight. Now, those only appear in the ice ring. There's other types of asteroids in different ring types, such as metallic and metal rich, but I'm not sure. I'll have to come up with another video for those. That asteroid there is also another type that appears in ice that will very rarely be a fissure asteroid. The asteroid that I'm sitting directly in front of, however, will almost always, I would give it an 85% of the time, will almost always be a fissure asteroid that you can use seismic charges to break apart for the deep core expensive resources. Now, these resources vary in price, obviously, but given the right market, you can make 750 per 1 ton. That's 750,000 per 1 ton of void opals. So all you really have to do is just equip your ship with seismic charge launchers and then target the fissure, and there's going to be different strengths, low, average, and high strength. Charge up the seismic charge to a low, medium, or high strength charge, and then plant them. Once planted, a minigame will appear in the top right with yellow, blue, and red bars that designate the charge strength. Now, what you want to do is you want to plant charges around the asteroid in different fissures at different strengths to get that bar into the blue to have an optimal yield. Now, if it's in the red, like there, you can disarm a charge, which will take 10 seconds, but will also render the fissure that it was on inoperable. So be careful about over-placing your charges. Once you have your asteroid in optimal yield range, then you can go and scroll over to where you disarmed and detonate early, or simply wait for the timer to tick down and then detonate the asteroid by itself. When detonating asteroids using fissures, you got to be very careful about your distance. I'm going to show you 2 examples here. One example is going to be here with all of my points into my systems to power my shields, as well as only 1.1-ish kilometers away from the detonation. Now, because I have all of my points in system, my shield didn't get affected too much, but if I didn't have all of my points in system, my shield would have almost been taken out. There you can see that I have sensor disruption and my shield got, and my ship got moved a little bit by the disruption, but here you can see I'm 2 kilometers away, and I don't even feel the blast. It's just a really cool aesthetic effect. So make sure that you always reverse your ship to about 2 kilometers before detonation. Okay, now the tried and true method with the mining laser, it still works, but it is slower and it also does not yield the high paying resources. Another way is called the subsurface displacement missile, and what you got to do is you got to fire the missile at a correct angle into the subsurface deposit, and then play the little mini game by holding the trigger and releasing the trigger while the bar is in the blue. You can do this repeatedly until the yield on the bottom is down to 0 on the targeting manifest, and generally you can get 2 or 3 pieces out of each one. But you have to be careful, because if you detonate too early or too late, you're going to damage the reserve without actually dislodging any tonnage. So be very careful about this minigame. And then lastly, there's surface deposit mining with abrasion blasters. Now, the fun thing that I learned about abrasion blasting is if you have overlapping fire like you just saw, you'll produce 2 tons for 1 abrasion blast. Now on this next one, you're going to see that I only hit it with 1, so it only produces 1 ton. And there it is. So now, as you can see, only 1 ton is floating away from that surface deposit, where on the first one and this next one that you're about to see, 2 tonnage floated away from the surface deposit instead. Now the key to that is you have to have the same plane of fire for both abrasion blasters, so that way the overlap of the inner part of both circles of fire hit the surface deposit at the same time. Then that way the game will register 2 hits on the same thing and produce 2 tons for every 1 fire of your 2 blasters. It's a great way to double your yield out of the surface deposits that you get from mining on the asteroids. You already get a ton from the deep core detonation, but this is just another way to give you a little bit more. Now for outfitting. For the new mining system, what you need is a whole different setup. For the hard points, you can use the old school mining lasers, which is still effective but still slow. The subsurface displacement missiles, which is what you have to fire and play that little rocket minigame, the seismic charge launcher to detonate fissure asteroids, and then your abrasion blasters for surface deposits. Next, we have our utility mounts, and there's only one that you really need, and that would be the Pulse Wave Analyzer. This is what you're going to use to find the orange asteroids out of the field of asteroids that are going to have the deep core deposits or subsurface and other new mining stuff on it. For the optionals, you obviously need cargo, a decent shield generator, better than 6E. You'll need a detailed surface scanner so that you can find the hot spots in the rings. What you do is you just probe the ring and then you'll find it. Obviously, you need a refinery, you need collector limpets. I like to use 2 at once, so I go with a 3A, and then same with the prospectors. I use a 3A so that I can have 2 prospectors out at once. Obviously, if you're using a bigger ship like a Type 9, I would always go with the standard docking computer, but that's just me. Next, we have what ships I would recommend. I would say the Keelback, the Type 9 Heavy, as well as the Anaconda. Those are the 3 that I've used and found the most success with personally. However, you can, decide for yourself. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned some things. It's been time to get Smitty, and I hope I will see y'all next time. For now, I'm heading home and signing off. Happy hunting, Commanders. Before you go, don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button. I can't stop my ship. I may need some help. Send help. Send help.